Okay, simple B-plot premise. Zack needs to get out of school to attend a baseball playoff game. But we don't get a full minute into the episode and we've already got so many things to discuss. First off, Molly serves Screech and Slater their drinks. That extra drink, probably for another table, gets taken by Zack. Established. Zack is cool. Second, while the boys brainstorm terrible ideas to get Zack out of school, Slater continues to slather ketchup on his already slathered French fries. It's like the opposite of Screech in that breaking up is hard to undo scene where Screech can't seem to get any ketchup out. At one point here, Slater puts down the ketchup bottle, only to pick it back up again. Yo, Slater, I think you're good, man. Lastly, Zack has tickets to a Dodgers-Mets playoffs game. Ugh, I like baseball too much to let this slide. This episode aired in November of 1991, after the baseball season had concluded with the Minnesota Twins having won it all. And the Mets and Dodgers didn't even make the playoffs. The Dodgers were good in 1991, but the Mets weren't. Wait a minute, you might say. What if the script is based off the 1990 season? Nope! Zack's game only exists in the fantasy world known as Saved by the Bell. Alright, and here comes our A-plot. Do y'all remember when Jessie was meeting Brett, and we got this little Spano family nugget?
Do your parents work?
Oh yeah, but they're divorced.
Well, that's too bad.
Jessie lives with her mom, and her mom just got remarried. Jessie is just getting back from the wedding in New York.
Oh, it was beautiful. I cried all through the ceremony.
Yeah, that's nice, Jessie, but what is Slater wiping on Zack's arm? Let me guess. Excess ketchup? With this new marriage, Jessie goes from being an only child to having a stepbrother, and he will arrive that night. Now, before new brother Eric shows up, we're going to spend a lot of time in this episode in Jessie's room, so let's see how it has been updated from previous seasons. The pink is obviously switched out for a nice blue floral motif. There's a new comforter and sofa, and that crate/ottoman thing is gone. The weird masks and awkwardly small dresser are replaced by tasteful farm paintings, and the Doing Nothing About Nukes poster gets moved down for a floral picture. As for the classic poster wall, well, Goodbye Adam West Batman, Extinct is Forever, The Cure, Radiation Kills, and The Coat Rack. Hello, more tasteful 11th grader approved art. And that ballet poster. Jessie loves that poster. The big peace sign poster, that was moved behind Screech. Kelly and Lisa arrive to support Jessie and welcome Eric with some cookies they apparently made, yet which Lisa is surprised about? And I really like Jessie's response here.
Well, we baked some cookies for your brother. My brother. I like it. It sounds nice.
Her vocals are raw but bright, and her face lights up with a great natural smile. I believe her 100%. And then we meet Eric.
Let's dump these two and go to the beach. We'll make nice in the sand.
Maybe some other time.
You're hot for me, aren't you?
What?
Oh, I hate this guy. Same, Lisa. Same. And just listen to this edgelord.
So, Eric, how was your flight?
It was great. I locked all the bathrooms on the 747. Everybody jumped off the plane before we reached the terminal.
First off, airplane bathrooms lock from the inside, so no, you didn't. But also, a 747 is a Boeing plane, and they aren't currently heralded for their impenetrable doors. You're a poser, Rebel, and I think you suck. Eric then rebuffs Jessie's gift and tries to lay claim to her room.
Mom!
Mom!
Alright, that was a good bit. I still hate him, but that was a good bit. It's the next day. Jessie laments her new brother's poor manners.
Hey, my brother Bennett blew out his birthday cake with a mouthful of Diet Coke.
Yeah, but little kids do those things.
Oh, please don't tell me there's another younger Kapowski sibling to cram in here.
Little, he was 19.
Okay, so obviously older than Kelly. She didn't say her oldest brother Bennett, probably just so the joke would land. So let's go ahead and throw Bennett here. Sticking with Kelly and her brotherly experience, earlier, Jessie asked for some advice.
Yeah, don't forget to make sure that the toilet seat's down.
Hey, Jesse, I waited for you this morning. Where were you?
Well, actually, I was drying off. I fell in the toilet. I thought you looked a little flushed.
Hearing Eric pull a Zack-like stunt over the intercom, Zack is fairly stoked to meet the guy. He is quickly cured of this.
I'm Zack Morris. You can say when it comes to scams, I'm top dog.
In my school, you'd just be a puppy.
Slater learns that Jessie has been writing about him in her journal. I mean, come on, Eric. We already hate you enough. Snooping in journals is just low, man.
Hey, did you write anything good about me after the prom there, Eric?
I love Slater's reaction, and I love how you can tell that Elizabeth Berkley is dragging that slab of beef up the stairs. She struggles, she trips, he trips. It's great fun. Also fun, Zack trying to help Eric with his schedule. Look at these two trying not to break. On the Zack to the Future podcast, Mark Paul essentially attributes this dopey smiling sequence to game recognizing game. And guess who gets duped into being Eric's lackey? Well, here's another strike against this effing guy.
Well, I never thought I'd be happy to see you.
Well, all good things come to those who wait, my darling.
You may recall that the last time Screech pursued Lisa was in the sophomore year season opener. He went that whole season and 6 episodes of this one without pining after her. In fact, we know he became involved in one of the sweetest romances ever depicted on the small screen. But since Tori Spelling's Violet isn't coming back, maybe Screech turns his sights back on Lisa. We'll see.
I'd like to introduce a new student to our class, Eric Tramer.
Aw, Mr. Sachs. Look how pleased Eric Tramer is with a little bit of attention. Wait a minute. Mr. Sachs? Like, named after writer and producer Jeffrey J. Sachs? And Eric Tramer? Like, named after writer and producer Bennett Tramer? And Bennett Tramer? Like, Kelly's newly revealed older brother's name? Okay, episode, settle down.
Okay, everyone, let's make Eric really feel at home here. Let's mug him.
Let's backtrack just a minute. Remember how Zack has tickets to that fake Mets-Dodgers game? Being the National League Championship Series, because MLB had not expanded the playoffs yet, this episode would have taken place in October between the 9th and the 17th. Remember how Zack is looking for any excuse to miss school and attend the game? House burned down, measles, grandma died, a papal invitation. Well...
Tomorrow is the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah. And since I'm Jewish, I'll be home celebrating the new year.
Rosh Hashanah is tomorrow? The day of the game? Oh, what could this mean?
Those students who are Jewish, please raise your hand so I'll be able to tell the substitute teacher about your absence, okay?
Here's some education for the sake of deconstructing the episode. The 3rd book of Moses states that the Jewish New Year is to be on the 1st day of the 7th month. Months are determined by cycles of the moon, so Rosh Hashanah can appear like a floating holiday for us who follow the Gregorian calendar. For instance, in 2020, Rosh Hashanah was celebrated beginning on September 18th. In 1991, the year of this episode, it began on September 8th. And Zack's little menorah for a light bulb gag? Well, that's a symbol famously used in December. The episode aired in a November, the game would have been in October, and the Jewish holiday getting Zack out of school happened in September on a Sunday.
This don't make no sense.
It sure doesn't, and we love the show for it anyways. To get just a little more meta, I like that Zack uses the menorah for his light bulb to showcase how clueless and exploitative his character is. But also, Mark Paul Gosselaar's paternal grandparents were Jewish victims of the Holocaust. He and Dustin Diamond could have legit raised their hands here, but instead were 2 Jews who eschewed true on-screen representation. Perhaps that's why Mark Paul decided to get all buddy-buddy with Dustin Diamond right here.
I wish you a happy new year. Shalom.
And Shana Tova to you, Mr. Sachs. But what's with his shadow passing over Zack's back? Did this serial killer lean into Zack's light? How dare you? It's the next night, and Eric, for some reason, couldn't watch his beloved Mets play live. He did have the foresight to have Screech record the game, and the foresight to camp out in Jessie's room while she showers. This is not okay.
Well, get out. I want to get dressed.
Hey, it's cool. We're family.
Yeah, that's not how family works. Screech does his level best not to spoil the game, but fails completely at protecting the fact that Zack ditched school to catch that Daryl Strawberry foul ball.
I bet Zack could get in a lot of trouble if Belding saw this tape.
Yeah, I could probably get him suspended.
And thus begins the Diabolical Machinations portion of the episode, where Eric continues to prove that he has zero redeeming qualities. Why is Zack just flippantly tossing that ball around? Does he want someone to ask him about it? He can't tell where he got it. No matter. It now belongs to Eric, plus 10 lunches and a locker switch in exchange for the incriminating videotape. Mr. Belding is impressed by Zack's charity.
Gosh, I'm getting chills.
What else does Eric have up his sleeves? Well, when Slater helps Jessie study... Well, hello. Have we seen them kiss anywhere other than Jessie's room? I'm drawing a blank. Oh yeah, jerkface Eric! He particularly liked Jessie's study date.
Listen.
Hey, come on, baby. I'm trying to study.
I can't help it. I need to be close to you tonight.
Of course he uses this to blackmail Jessie out of her room. But, how did he know what was on the tape? There was no Bluetooth connectivity in 1991. How did he hear the romantic shenanigans were even taped in the first place? Then again, the Spano household seems to have an open door rule for when guys are over. So maybe Eric was just listening all pervily in the hall. You know, like a little pervert. Even so, the random rewind of the tape exhibits a classic TV trope of landing perfectly on the information needed. In real life, the scene would likely have gone like this.
Listen.
What does the Nirvana song I taped off the radio have to do with anything?
Oh, I rewinded too far. I'll try again.
You're not really good at this. Do you want to find what you're looking for first? But that's not what happened. But don't worry. Slater's on the case, and he's getting results.
I got 20 more copies of that tape, and if you mess with me, they'll be all over school tomorrow.
He has 20 more copies of this tape, which means he spent his whole night with a double cassette tape deck laboriously duplicating content. What a loser. Or he made Screech do it. So what's the blackmail here? Eric wants to use Slater's car for a date on Saturday in exchange for those 20 tapes. Done and done. Now, I want to take just a moment to discuss Kelly's role in this episode. Earlier, she set up some great toilet banter. Since then, she's been absolutely unhelpful. I've noted in past episodes how Kelly would play the part of the buzzkill. Here, Kelly listens to Jessie bemoan her loss of privacy, and Kelly's all, "Get over yourself!" Then, Kelly hears Slater and Zack make some fantastically valid points, and Kelly's all, "You snobbish pigs disgust me!" Now, I imagine Kelly was written this way to give us another, more favorable view for Eric, but we know too much about him. Kelly, as always, your packaging is just right, but I won't let that prevent me from using my brain, because Eric sucks. Alright, Mr. Belding literally dragged Zack and Slater to show off the new car he bought for Becky Belding. An NA model Miata? That was like the hottest little sports car, yo! And this show continues its 90s era appropriate love affair with red convertibles.
4 more days until they deliver your hot new convertible. I wonder what this is. Well, maybe red leather racing gloves to match your convertible, but it's just a guess.
Mr. Belding wants to hire a reluctant Slater to install a CD player over the weekend, and we get a...
Timeout.
A plan, Master Morris?
Mr. Belding wants to leave us his car for the weekend? Maybe we'll take Eric for a ride in more ways than one.
As always, let's look how Slater and Belding experience this time out.
Hey, there's no hurry. I'm gonna be away all weekend, and Mrs. Belding's birthday is not till next week.
Sir, Slater will be glad to put in the CD for you.
Yes. Time and space making all the sense. With Mr. Belding's car secure for Eric's date, Zack has to convince Lisa to be that date. And he tries to lure her in with MC Hammer tickets. And we know how much Lisa loves MC Hammer. She tried to get him to perform at her birthday party. But why is Zack pushing this date so hard?
Eric is blackmailing me because I cut school on the Jewish holiday to go to the Dodger game.
Zach, you are Meshuggah.
Boom! Mr. Sachs ain't here and we're still learning Jewish stuff. You see, Meshuggah is a Yiddish term for a crazy person. This is not to be confused with Meshuggah, a Swedish metal band whose music I just do not get. Lisa can be bribed, which we saw previously when Zack paid Lisa for some Kelly information with some Bon Jovi tickets. That's another rock act I just do not get.
Do you want to go out with me? Oh boy, oh boy.
Eric collects Slater's car and takes Lisa to see Casablanca on the big screen.
Hey, do the thing where Bogart's walking down the runway into the fog.
Louis, this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Now, I've never seen Casablanca, but you know I'm petty enough to search out the quote to see if this fart face got it right. It's just a little bit off, but he messed it up.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Louis, this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
But Lisa doesn't care about perfectly recited movie lines. She's really enjoying being out with Eric. With the date nearly over, the Three Stooges finally reveal Zack's master plan.
Now all you have to do is get a clear picture of Eric driving Mrs. Belding's new car. Then Eric will be happy to trade the pictures for the tapes.
So we're going to try to blackmail the blackmailer. With 38 seconds left in this episode, let me guess, this ends badly? Dang it. A few notes about this ending sequence. First, it's Screech's camera, so he's the one who has to take the picture, but he ruins things.
You have the film? You have the batteries?
What do you take me for, some kind of idiot?
I mean, you started well, little buddy, but by this point in the series, yeah, we take you for an idiot. Another thing, it seems sweet that Eric lets Lisa drive the sports car, but why are they headed back to Bayside? Lisa wasn't there when Eric got the keys. It is assumed that he picked her up, so he's not going to drop her off at home?
I can sort of quote classic movies, but I refuse to be a gentleman.
Whoa, were they just gonna, walk home? It's time to play Spot That Party of 5 Heartthrob Scott Wolf! There he is! And there he is! And earlier, there he was. Eric and Mr. Sachs both appear in the next episode, so let's cover one now and save the other for later. Mr. Sachs was played by Bernard Hiller, who has not only toured with Broadway and had TV and movie appearances, but is best known as a coach. Business, life, acting. The man is a coach known the world over. He's produced a TV show, written a book, and been the CEO of his company. He strives to be a positive force, and we'll see next episode what effect he may have with our crew's current quandary.
Well, Kelly, you've got brothers. Got any advice?
Yeah, don't forget to make sure that the toilet seat's down.